Every one of us has faced moments that shook us to our core. Pain, heartbreak, loss, things we never saw coming. And in those moments, it feels unfair, it feels heavy, it feels like we are drowning in something we never asked for. But what if I told you that there is something greater at play? What if the very thing that broke you is actually shaping you into something stronger? What if every tear, every sleepless night, every unanswered prayer is not a sign of being abandoned, but a setup for something bigger than you can imagine? Pain has a way of making us question everything. We ask, why me? We wonder if we are being punished, if we will ever heal, if we will ever find peace again. But what we fail to see in that moment is that pain is not the enemy. Pain is a teacher. It strips away the unnecessary, reveals the truth, and forces us to grow in ways we never would have chosen on our own. There are moments in life when everything feels like it's falling apart. The dreams you held so close slip through your fingers, the people you trusted walk away, and the battles you fight seem to have no end. In those moments, it's easy to wonder if there's any meaning to the pain, any reason for the struggle. But what if the very things that break you are the same things that build you? What if every hardship, every setback, every unanswered prayer is not a punishment, but a preparation? Life doesn't always make sense while we're living it. We go through challenges that seem unfair, pain that feels unbearable, and waiting seasons that test every ounce of our patience. But looking back, we realize that the things that once hurt the most were the same things that shaped who we are. Strength isn't born out of comfort. Growth doesn't happen in ease. It is in the fire that we are refined, in the struggle that we discover our resilience, and in the loss that we learn the true value of what remains. Every difficulty you face has a purpose. Every time you've fallen, every tear you've shed, every door that's closed, none of it was wasted. It may not be clear in the moment, but one day you will look back and see how every piece fit together, how every detour led you exactly where you needed to be. What you thought was breaking you was actually making you. The pain you questioned was the preparation for something greater than you imagined. So when life gets hard, when the road ahead is uncertain, and when you feel like giving up, remember this: there is purpose, even in the pain. You may not see it now, but trust that every hardship carries within it the seed of something greater. And one day you will understand why it had to happen the way it did. Pain is never easy. It doesn't come wrapped in understanding or arrive with an explanation. It crashes into our lives uninvited and relentless, leaving us questioning everything. But what if pain isn't meant to destroy us? What if instead it is shaping us into something stronger, something wiser, something more? Think about the moments that changed you the most. They weren't the easy ones, were they? Growth doesn't happen in the places where we are comfortable. It happens in the struggle, in the heartbreak, in the nights when we cry out, searching for answers. It happens when life knocks us down and we are forced to decide whether we will stay there or rise again. Pain strips away the illusions we once clung to. It reveals who we really are, what truly matters, and what we are capable of surviving. It teaches us strength we didn't know we had, patience we never practiced before, and a deeper level of faith that can only be built through experience. The greatest transformations don't come from what is easy. They come from what tests us. They come from the moments we thought would break us, but instead became the turning points of our lives. It's easy to see pain as an enemy, as something to escape. But what if instead we embraced it as a teacher? What if rather than running from it, we learned from it? Every challenge you have faced has shaped you into the person you are today. Every scar tells a story of survival. Every moment of suffering carried within it the seed of transformation. You are not who you were before the pain. You are stronger, wiser, and more resilient. So when you find yourself in a season of struggle, don't fear the process. Trust that even in the darkest moments, something powerful is happening within you. One day you will look back and realize that the pain that once felt unbearable was the very thing that shaped you into the person you were meant to be. Growth never happens in comfort. It happens in the moments that stretch us, challenge us, and break us open in ways we never expected. It happens in the struggles we wish we could avoid, in the setbacks that force us to dig deeper, in the losses that teach us what truly matters. No one asks for pain, but pain has a way of leading us to places within ourselves that we would have never discovered otherwise. Life has a way of testing us, not to punish us, but to reveal what we are truly made of. It takes the things we thought we needed and shows us that we can survive without them. It removes the distractions and forces us to focus on what is real. In those moments, we are given a choice: either let the pain define us or let it refine us. Either shrink in fear or rise in resilience. Either let life break us or let it build us. Think about it. Some of the strongest, most inspiring people you know didn't become that way because life was easy for them. They became that way because they faced hardship, stood in the fire, and came out stronger on the other side. They allowed their pain to mold them, not destroy them. Every battle taught them something. Every setback forced them to rise. Every moment of doubt led them closer to discovering their true strength. Pain is not just something to endure, it is something to learn from. It is a process, a refining fire that shapes us into who we are meant to be. Without it, we remain the same, untouched by struggle, unaware of our own power. But with it, we transform, we gain wisdom, we gain perspective, we gain the kind of strength that only comes from surviving what was meant to break us. So when life feels unbearable, when you wonder why you're facing another challenge, remember this: the struggle is not there to defeat you, it is there to shape you. It is teaching you, stretching you, preparing you, and one day you will look back and realize that the pain you resented was the very thing that led you to your greatest growth. Life has a way of surprising us. We make plans, set dreams in motion, and expect things to unfold a certain way. But then out of nowhere, life shifts, a door closes, an opportunity slips away, a relationship ends, and suddenly we find ourselves standing in the middle of uncertainty, questioning everything. It feels like a setback, like we've lost something we were meant to have. But what if it's not a loss? What if it's a setup for something greater? So often we see detours as delays, obstacles as punishments, and disappointments as signs that we are on the wrong path. But what if every unexpected turn, every painful moment, every no was actually leading us exactly where we needed to be? What if the opportunity that passed us by was never meant for us in the first place? What if the heartbreak that left us shattered was making room for something better? What if the struggles we face are not meant to hold us back, but to push us forward in ways we never imagined? There is something powerful about trusting the process, even when we don't understand it. We don't always get to see the full picture right away. We don't always know why things happen the way they do. But looking back, we start to connect the dots. The job we didn't get led us to a career we never expected. The person who walked away made space for someone who truly values us. The pain that felt unbearable became the very thing that shaped our purpose. Nothing in life is wasted. No struggle, no heartbreak, no closed door is without meaning. Every experience, good and bad, is part of a bigger story. And while it may not make sense right now, one day you will see why things had to happen the way they did. You will realize that what you thought was breaking you was actually guiding you. What you thought was a setback was really a step forward in disguise. And in that moment, you will understand that every painful turn was not a detour. It was a divine direction, leading you exactly where you were meant to be. Pain is inevitable, but what we do with it is our choice. Life will challenge us, break us, and test us in ways we never expected. There will be moments when we feel like we have nothing left to give, moments when the weight of it all feels unbearable. But in those moments, we are given a choice. Will we let the pain define us, or will we let it refine us? Pain has the power to make us bitter, to close our hearts, and to leave us stuck in a cycle of resentment. But it also has the power to transform us, to make us stronger, to teach us lessons we never would have learned otherwise. The difference lies in how we choose to respond. We can spend our lives asking, why did this happen to me? Or we can shift our perspective and ask, what is this teaching me? One question keeps us stuck in the past, the other moves us forward. One question traps us in suffering, the other gives us power over it. The strongest people are not the ones who have never known pain. They are the ones who have faced it, embraced it, and used it as fuel to rise. They took their hardships and turned them into wisdom. They took their losses and turned them into purpose. They took their pain and transformed it into a testimony of resilience. They refused to let their struggles break them. Instead, they let those struggles build them into something greater. You have that same choice. You may not have control over what happens to you, but you have control over how you respond. You can let the pain make you angry, or you can let it make you wise. You can let the loss break you, or you can let it shape you. You can let the hardship close your heart, or you can let it open your eyes to a new way of seeing life. Pain is a part of the journey, but it does not have to be the end of your story. You have the strength to turn it into something powerful. You have the ability to take every struggle, every setback, and every heartbreak and turn it into a stepping stone towards something greater. The choice is yours. Will you let it break you, or will you let it build you? Healing is never instant. It doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't follow a straight path. It's messy, unpredictable, and often slower than we want it to be. There are days when we feel like we're making progress, like the weight is lifting, like we can finally breathe again. And then there are days when the pain rushes back, when the memories resurface, when the wound we thought was closing feels fresh all over again. In those moments, it's easy to believe that healing will never come. But just because we don't see it happening doesn't mean it's not. Every moment of pain carries within it the seed of something greater. It is in the breaking that we are being rebuilt. It is in the moments of deepest sorrow that strength is quietly forming beneath the surface. Just like a wound on our skin takes time to close, the wounds in our hearts and minds require patience. We can't rush the process. We can't force healing to happen on our timeline. But we can trust that, little by little, it is happening. Think about the storms you've already survived. There was a time when you thought you'd never move forward, never feel joy again, never escape the weight of what you were carrying, but you did. Maybe it didn't happen as quickly as you wanted, and maybe there are still scars left behind, but those scars are proof that healing is real. They are reminders of battles fought and won, of strength gained in the struggle, of a version of yourself who refused to give up even when everything felt impossible. Healing isn't about forgetting what hurt you. It's about learning from it, growing through it, and finding purpose beyond it. It's about looking back, not with resentment, but with gratitude for the lessons learned, for the strength gained, for the resilience discovered. The pain that once felt unbearable will one day be the testimony that helps someone else through their own storm. The heartbreak that once shattered you will one day be the reason you know how to love deeper, live bolder, and appreciate life in ways you never did before. So if you're still in the middle of the storm, if the weight still feels too heavy to carry, know this: healing is happening, even if you don't see it. You are stronger than you think. You are moving forward, even if it doesn't feel like it. And one day you will wake up and realize that the pain that once felt endless has turned into wisdom, strength, and a new beginning you never saw coming. Think back to the hardest moment of your life. The one that knocked the air out of your lungs, the one that left you questioning whether you would ever recover. The pain was real, the struggle was unbearable, and at that time it felt like the end. But look at you now. You survived, you made it through, and maybe you're still healing, maybe there are still moments when the past whispers to you, but the truth is, you are still here. And that is proof of your strength. Pain has a way of convincing us that we won't make it, that this time it's too much, that this loss, this failure, this heartbreak is the one that will finally break us. But history tells a different story. If you take a step back and look at your own life, you will see a pattern of survival. Every storm you thought would drown you, you overcame. Every mountain that felt impossible to climb, you found a way past it. Every time you thought you would never be okay again, you somehow found a way to keep going. You are stronger than you give yourself credit for. There is resilience woven into the very fabric of your being. It's easy to forget in the middle of the pain, easy to believe that this time will be different, but remind yourself of what you've already endured. Remind yourself that you have walked through fire before and come out on the other side. You are not someone who gives up. You are someone who rises again and again. Every time you've faced pain, it has changed you. It has shaped you into someone who is wiser, more compassionate, more understanding of others. Every scar is a story of perseverance. Every lesson is proof of your ability to adapt and grow. And the same strength that got you through before will get you through again. So when the next storm comes and it feels like too much, remind yourself, you have survived before and you will survive again. You have been tested and you have risen. You have been broken and you have rebuilt. You are living proof that no matter how hard life gets, no matter how deep the pain runs, you will always find a way to keep going. And that is something no amount of pain can ever take away from you. Pain has a way of making us ask, why me? It makes us feel like life is unfair, like we are being tested beyond our limits. When things fall apart, when dreams shatter, when the people we love walk away, it's natural to wonder why we have to go through so much. But what if the question isn't why me? What if the real question is, what can I learn from this? Perspective changes everything. Two people can go through the same storm. One will drown in it, the other will learn how to swim. The difference isn't in what happened, it's in how they chose to see it. We don't always get to control our circumstances, but we do get to control our mindset. And when we shift our focus from, why is this happening to me, to what is this trying to teach me, everything changes. Pain has a way of revealing things we never saw before. It teaches us who truly belongs in our life and who was only passing through. It strips away the distractions and makes us focus on what really matters. It forces us to grow in ways we never would have if everything had gone according to plan. The struggles we face are not meant to destroy us, they are meant to refine us. They show us our strength, they deepen our wisdom, and they prepare us for the future in ways we cannot yet understand. Think about the most painful moments of your past. Now think about who you became because of them, the strength you gained, the wisdom you earned, the way you see the world differently now. Every challenge you have faced has shaped you, has added something to your character that wasn't there before. That is the power of perspective. The moment we stop seeing pain as a punishment and start seeing it as preparation, we take back our power. We stop being victims of our circumstances and start becoming students of life. So when the next storm comes, and it will, remember that you have a choice. You can let it break you, or you can let it teach you. You can sit in resentment, or you can rise in resilience. You can focus on the loss, or you can focus on the lesson. The pain you face today will one day become the wisdom that carries you forward. It's not about what happens to you, it's about how you choose to see it. And that choice can change everything. Pain often feels like the end of the story. It feels final, like a chapter we never wanted to write, filled with moments we wish we could erase. When we are in the middle of it, it's hard to see anything beyond the hurt. It's hard to believe that something good could ever come from the very thing that broke us, but what if pain isn't the end? What if instead it is the beginning of something greater? Some of the most beautiful stories in life are born from struggle. Some of the strongest people we know didn't become that way because life was easy. They became that way because life challenged them. They turned their pain into purpose, their heartbreak into wisdom, their losses into lessons. They refused to let the struggle define them. Instead, they used it as fuel to rise. And you have that same power within you. Every painful moment in your life has given you something. Maybe it taught you resilience. Maybe it deepened your compassion. Maybe it gave you a new perspective that changed everything. Pain never leaves us empty. It always leaves something behind. And the question is, what will you do with what it gave you? Will you bury it in bitterness, or will you use it to build something meaningful? Will you allow it to keep you stuck, or will you use it to propel you forward? You were not meant to simply go through pain. You were meant to grow through it. You were meant to take what tried to break you and turn it into something that lifts others up. Your story, your struggle, your survival, it matters. Someone out there needs to hear what you have been through. Someone needs to see that healing is possible, that overcoming is real, that strength is something we build through the hardest moments. The pain you once thought was meaningless could be the very thing that gives meaning to someone else's life. So don't hide your pain. Don't let it be something you run from. Instead, let it be something you use. Let it be the reason you love harder, dream bigger, and live bolder. Let it be the fuel that pushes you toward your purpose. One day, you will look back and realize that the pain that once felt unbearable was actually shaping you for something incredible. It was never the end of your story. It was the beginning of something far greater than you ever imagined. Pain is never easy. It shakes us, it breaks us, and sometimes it leaves us questioning everything we once believed. It makes us wonder why life had to unfold this way, why we had to lose what we loved, why we had to walk through the fire when all we wanted was peace. But what if, in the moments that hurt the most, something deeper is at work? What if every struggle, every heartbreak, every setback is not just something we endure, but something that is shaping us into who we were always meant to be? Life is not meant to be without challenges. It was never meant to be a straight road with no obstacles, no detours, no unexpected turns. If it were, we would never grow. We would never learn resilience. We would never discover just how strong we truly are. Every time we face pain, we are given a choice. We can let it harden us, close our hearts, make us afraid of life, or we can let it transform us, deepen our understanding, and make us more compassionate, more courageous, more alive. Think about the moments that once broke you. Look at how far you've come. There was a time when you thought you wouldn't survive, yet here you are. There was a moment when you thought you would never heal, yet somehow healing found you. There were nights filled with doubt, yet the sun still rose, and you kept moving forward. That is proof of your strength, proof that pain never has the final say. Proof that no matter how hard life gets, there is always something greater on the other side. Every painful moment in your life has led you somewhere. Maybe it led you to new wisdom. Maybe it led you to people who truly understand you. Maybe it led you to a purpose greater than yourself. Whatever it is, trust that nothing was wasted. The things you thought were breaking you were actually building you. The moments that felt unbearable were preparing you. The journey you never expected was shaping you for something far greater than you could have planned on your own. So when life gets hard again, and it will, remember this: the pain you feel today is not the end of your story. It is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to refine you. One day you will look back and understand why everything had to happen the way it did. One day you will see that even in the darkest moments there was purpose. And when that day comes, you will realize that every tear, every struggle, every moment of doubt was not in vain. It was all leading you to the person you were always meant to become.